What is going on, my beautiful, cherished, and beloved house guests? Welcome back in the house, my favorite place to be.
Hey girl, we missed you last time. Coming out tonight?
Hey, what you doing? Busy?
Happy Women's History Month. Let me start out with that. It is time for the Innispinna to see. The Innispinna is going to tell us what shenanigans we're getting into today, shall we? Stop. Okay, I feel like that was on 60-second karaoke. Babe, you have to throw me a subject or like something, and I have to sing like at least 60 seconds worth of a song that fits the bill.
Perfect. Should I start?
Yep.
Here.
Okay, I got it. I'm sorry if I seem uninterested, like I'm not listening. No, I'm not interested. Truly, I ain't got no business here. But since my friends are here, I just came to kick it. But really, I would rather be at home all by myself, not in this room with people who don't even care about my well-being. I don't dance, don't ask, I don't need a boyfriend, so you can go back. Please enjoy your party. I'll be here.
Yay!
Hey guys, listen. If you could maybe follow me on Instagram at Michelyn.cierra, and then also maybe if it's not too much trouble, like subscribe to the channel too. That would be great. Kind of
helpful to me in the long run. Like if you really think about it, like if you start breaking down the numbers and how like, every follow, every count, like, it makes a difference and it adds up over time. And then you start getting, you know what I mean? Like mathematically speaking, if you could just like maybe contribute to the elements of the work required to show that I'm like, like doing something, that's like got it, meaningful and stuff. I hope somewhere along that moment you did what I was asking you to do, which was to follow me and subscribe.
Anyway. Let me not keep you any longer than I already have. Let's just stroll along into this episode. To be determined. TBD? TBD. This episode is called TBD, to be determined, because I'm trying something different this episode, which is I'm going into it without a plan or a structure. I usually at least have like some points I want to hit, and this time I intentionally did not prepare because I wanted to see if I could pull this off without one. So whatever transpires in this episode really and truly is TBD. But what I do know is I got a big strong man when it comes sit on this couch beside me and talk to me. Come talk to me. Come talk in my ear. Come say something nasty to you. Come whisper in my ear.
Yeah, tell you a little something that you like to hear.
Tell me something I like to hear. Yes. Keep going.
Right.
Tell me something else.
That's an inappropriate song. Hello, everyone.
Whisper it to me.
I'm so happy that this is a TBD episode. I'm gonna try not to like take over the episode, but I'm glad to be here. I hope everybody is doing well. It's a great month. It's March. We're a few months away from getting married, so it's marvelous vibes. We just celebrated. Technically, it would have been like a year since
I'm
our
gonna try really
proposal.
hard not to take over this episode, but it's a
It's good to see you all. So I'm glad to be here.
No, it's wild though, because I did have the realization that, well, really, your sister reminded me that we are officially in March, 5 months away from our our marriage, our wedding, and I was like, dang, we under 6 months already.
Yeah.
Like 6 months is like kind of like one of those milestone markers, and we're like below that.
Yeah,
now.
time is flying.
Kind of insane.
Like, really?
It's kind of insane. Let me put this here. You guys, before we do anything or talk about anything, I gotta show the people the shoe. Do you see? Uh-oh.
From the carpet.
The shoe. Do you see the shoe? Do you also see the dry skin that I am, harboring underneath
She's scaling, guys. She's shedding all that old dead skin. Time for new skin.
Let's not go into detail. Here, help us sister out. And they can look at the
Jergens, guys.
sexy shoe while you do it.
Ooh, Lord.
Okay, calm down. That's enough. You're doing the most.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, cause support the weight of my leg since you want to make fun of me. How about that?
Y'all see? We gotta support each other. You feel me? This is an insecurity for her.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to do my best to help her through her insecurities.
Oh, do you? Well, thank you for...
That looks a lot better. Looks a lot better. Y'all see?
How long is this gonna go on? Well, since you're so eager to support a sister, why don't you get the other leg?
Shoot, I got you.
How about that?
Oh, this one's not as bad as the other one.
Calm down, first of all.
This one's not as bad as the other one.
You gotta chill, bro. Like, you gotta find some chill. Thank you, darling, for keeping me moisturized. This episode is not sponsored by Jergens, but it should be. What are we talking about today in this unplanned March extravaganza? It is Women's History Month, so if you want to talk about me, because I'm a woman, and how wonderful I am, I will allow it. I'll give you the floor.
No, let's talk about something else.
Really? I thought that was gonna be like really strong, solid idea, like suggestion. So we were having a really interesting conversation earlier, talking about our different communication styles, and as we've mentioned before, we're very different people.
For sure.
Said that many times because it's like almost like overarching theme of our relationship is the way we differ and the way we work to come together within those things. So we were talking about how sometimes I'll communicate in a way that's natural to me, and I assume you'll understand it, and that's not necessarily the case, and then vice versa.
Essentially, when instead of just assuming that somebody understands something, it's best to do check-ins. Like, for example, if we're having a conversation, and maybe I think that she thinks she's in alignment with what I'm thinking, and she may not be. It's good to maybe pause and just ask a question. Does that make sense? Do you understand? Then if she seems apprehensive or she seems kind of uneasy about something, did I say something that was wrong? Instead of just continuing to I guess fuel something that may cause disconnectedness, taking a moment just to try to connect even within communication and making sure that we're on the same page.
So the other day, Raj and I have Raj really mainly has a new schedule that has impacted how often we see each other throughout the week. And I had mentioned that my preferred communication method during times of space or distance or whatever involves a little bit more of a hands-on approach, as far as call me in the morning and call me at night and tell me all the things that you really, really like. Why are you making that face at me? But I prefer a lot of ongoing communication and a lot of conversational stimulation, if you will. Whereas Raj is kind of chill, and
which is very interesting because I could for a majority of our relationship, and we've been at it going on 8 years, and Michelyn is not the big that I think that she likes to be talking on the phone, or she likes to have constant dialogue throughout the day. Like
Mm-mm.
we,
I don't like talking on the phone to people, but you're not people to me.
I understand that, but even that's what I'm saying. Like even in our 8 years and stuff, like I've never been the guy, nor have you ever expected of me, nor have you ever like mentioned that you want me to be the guy to communicate all throughout the day with you, like you know, to spark conversations and stuff like that. That's never been something that we have done really within our relationship in
But you
eight
know what's
years.
I guess I don't know, ironic about that is like you hear it in my music all the time. So like
I hear what in your music all the time.
I write songs about freaking telekinesis, which is a song I wrote recently. You guys haven't heard it yet. Maybe you will soon. I don't know. But conversation, make it last, mental stimulation,
For
all those
sure.
things. Like I write that's a theme in my music. Communication is a theme in my music.
It's not to say that when we are apart from one another that we don't, that connection has gone away, but it's never has been in our 8 years like, let me check on you all throughout the day, or you're checking on me all throughout the day. It's more so normal kind of greeting in the morning, seeing what's going
Right.
on,
But
and then we go like our separate ways. I know what you're doing, you know what I'm doing. I'm not saying that it's not possible. What I'm saying is for you and I, like I don't want it to be like an activity. Like, let me think of something like
yeah, I
mentally
don't want it to be
stimulating
like
or
that either.
something. Just sit here and be like, hey, yesterday we talked about yesterday we talked about music. Let's talk about home
Well, no,
decor.
that's
Like,
inorganic. That's definitely not what I mean.
so,
But I do believe you can have organic, stimulating conversations once a day. I do think that that's like not outlandish at all.
I mean, I think, checking in, having conversations about how your day is going, vice versa. I think that that is sufficient, unless there's something that one of us wants to talk about. And it doesn't mean that like I'm not interested in talking to you, or I don't like you, or like I dislike you
And
or something like
see,
that. But it's like,
that is where now y'all getting some real insight here to the behind the scenes. But that is where an example of where we differ
so what I would do is I would be more intentional about, I don't want to make a commitment about something that
in front of all these people.
but what I would do is I will keep that in mind, that you
Mm-hmm.
would like to have more meaningful conversations when I'm away from you throughout the
Mm-hmm.
day.
So that I know I'm being thought of. So that I
I
know.
can tell you, I'm thinking of you. Would that be sufficient?
No.
See, let's talk about how important it is that, oftentimes it's even in the Bible. I think it's in Proverbs or Psalms. I think it's Proverbs, but it says, iron sharpens iron, and oftentimes we hear this like in, during men's conferences or men's groups.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about, pretty much iron sharpening iron, or men holding other men accountable, and being able to encourage, inspire, or motivate, one another to achieve some type of task or some type of goal, or to be their best selves.
Mm-hmm.
um, but I think, one of the best representations of that is actually within a romantic relationship, like specifically like with your partner. As far as iron sharpening iron,
Mm-hmm.
like being able to, you know, um, uplift your partner, or cause them or empower them to be their best selves, or to show up their best selves.
Definitely.
So what are some ways that you think that you have done that for me?
It's an interesting question. I definitely agree with the concept. And I also think that, excuse me, if you're not in a relationship that's challenging you to grow in some way, then like, what's the point, right? Um,
Scratch that. What are some ways that I have done that for you?
I was just getting ready to say something about that. I was gonna be like, okay. Anyway, what are some ways that you've sharpened me?
Yes.
Okay, well, number one, um, I mentioned this in the last episode too, as far as my walk with God, being strengthened as a result of some of the things that you've experienced in your life, and with me being kind of like a not an outsider. I mean, essentially, I am an outsider because I'm not you, but like on the outskirts of your experiences, but still here with you. There were things that I have had to go to God about.
Mm-hmm.
And there were even places of like desperation and surrender that I had to discover in my relationship with God as it relates to all that. So I feel like I have just an entirely different understanding of God and of Christ.
So you would say I haven't inspired or influenced you to go to God because of my struggles.
And because of your dedication, thank you, um,
Dedication.
to growing beyond your struggles and being better. Like you're constantly moving the needle, which
Mm-hmm.
causes me to have to and like need to and want to move the needle as well in a spiritual sense so that I can really truly be the example of Christ and love within our relationship that I believe God wants us all to be in our relationships.
Okay. Any other ways?
Yeah, for sure.
I think you've taught me emotional intelligence.
You have a very youthful personality, and for a long time I looked at that negatively, but I you caused me by being yourself and by not really changing that even despite your circumstances, by maintaining your youthful zest and vigor, which I so love and adore about you now. um you caused me to have to go within myself and check myself. And I talked to you about this earlier
So is
today.
that what did you change? What you perceive a man to be?
Not necessarily. What I changed was the desire to want to change you. And in doing so, I've gained a level of emotional intelligence that I'm very proud of because um, the way I process things now, like the stimuli that I receive from you, I process that just differently. I think you've taught me grace, you've taught me emotional intelligence, you've taught me communication, you've taught me resilience, you've taught me like honestly, you've taught me youthful zest. I'm a youthful person. I'm goofy as crap. Everybody knows that. But I'm also incredibly responsible and incredibly organized and very detailed and all these things. And you've taught me how to like relax a little bit in some of those things. Which also it's a kind of everything works in tandem, which has also strengthened my relationship with God because there are things I may notoriously worry about, but seeing how childlike and free and trusting you are of God
Mm-hmm.
makes me look at myself and make adjustments to
Mm-hmm.
adapt some of that mentality and just like have fun and enjoy my life.
For sure. I think like the word also teaches us like the greatest in the kingdom. I think Jesus said this. Greatest in the kingdom are the children. And children, because they are not already so conditioned by the world, or they're not already burdened with stress. It's like, for example, like if a father, if a kid is outside and hears an ice cream truck, he runs or she runs to their mom and dad and asks for money for the ice cream truck and expects to get money from the ice cream trucks. Doesn't give any worry or concern about hey, does mom or dad have money? Did they go to work? They don't give thoughts about extra stressors or things that the world can put on us. And I think like for me, like my freedom or my childlikeness, or my like, I wouldn't even say I have like an I don't care type attitude, but more so I have different stressors, but I don't harbor
Harp on them.
yes, I don't harp on stress. It's because I just cast my cares to God, and I just believe, all things are working together for my good because I love God, and I'm called according to His purpose. And I think that that is something. Hopefully, like I continue to, share with you or continue to inspire you to do just in general with your walk with the Father is anything that's going on within our lives. Just knowing that all things will work together for your good because you love God and you're called according to His purpose.
Now, how lovely would it be for me to be like, yes, baby, you're absolutely right. I'm going to strive to do that, and I believe it's possible. The truth of the matter is, there are going to be things that happen in our life that are probably a step or two beyond my level of, okay, I can be like Raj about this and just relax. And I may also feel like someone's got to care.
And see, this is a distinguishing thing when it comes to being childlike in respect to the Father or respect to God. It's putting yourself in, like, as a child, and He's the Father. So if He says everything is going to work together for your good, like, it doesn't have to be you taking my word for it, or you looking at your situation and you expecting your situation to, say something to you. What is He saying? And I think for me, like, my life has been rooted on, trying to live by what He is saying.
So do you hear God audibly? When you say like what He's saying, does God like audibly talk to you? How does God talk to you?
Most of the time I receive unctions from the Holy Spirit. So I would receive like something here, like it's almost like a voice, and even like a feeling will sometimes happen here, and then it will kind of come up like to here. But it's like I can distinguish that the thought or was not created here. It was like a force that like came like here.
That's interesting.
In my spirit. And then if I just center myself and I, listen to the Father, like I can be quiet right now and listen to the Father, or ask Holy Spirit, what are you saying? And if I really don't even have to say that verbally, like I can put myself into
that position or posture.
It's like taking an outlet or taking a plug and plugging it into the outlet and stuff. Like electricity is flowing already through that. And from there, I can receive revelations and downloads and insights, and whatever the Father wants to share with me at that time.
I mean, I think there's so much that can be said about communication, romantic relationships, regular relationships, relationship with God. I think we both still have a lot to learn in that regard, especially me. I guess I'll speak for myself. Have a lot to learn in that regard. But because this episode is unique in the sense that there's no structure here, it's also kind of difficult to pinpoint a segue. So this might be abrupt, but before we shut the systems down, rapid fire for both of us. Top three memories that we share with one another. You go first. Putting you on the spot.
Top 3 memories?
Go, quick. Just kidding, take your time.
So definitely would be the first time that I told you that I love you and I asked you to be my girlfriend. It was just following.
Those are 2 separate times. You told me that you loved me
at my grandmother's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you asked me to be your girlfriend at Bowie State.
Yes. So, well, I'll use both of them.
That's cheating. No,
that's actually good. So top three moments. One would be the first time I told you I love you at my grandmother's house. I said the cool points are all out the window.
Yeah, he was
got
so
me twisted
corny.
up in the game.
He was so corny.
Shout out to bringing down the house. She
man
had no idea what it meant, anything like that. It was smooth. We were chilling.
We
were on opposite side of the room and stuff like that. I was chilling like in a reclining chair. She was sitting on my couch and stuff. We were just vibing at her, and I was like, the cool points are all out the window, and you got me twisted up in the game.
And I looked at him and I said, what?
And I said, the cool points are all out the window, and you got me twisted up in the game.
And I looked at him again and said, what? And then he said, Google it. And so I pulled out my phone.
And she read it and stuff like that. And then she looked at me and she was like, all smitten.
No, okay, calm down. So I Googled it, and my Google results took me to Urban Dictionary, which translated the cool points are out the window and I'm all twisted up in the game.
The cool points are all out the window and you got me twisted
translated
up in the game.
Translated to I love you on Urban Dictionary. And so I read it and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. So I showed him the phone, like, is that what you're saying right now? And
that's not how I remember it. She was smitten, y'all.
No, I literally showed you the phone and I was like, Question mark?
She was across the room, bro.
And then
I was over here, like on one side of the room. She was over there. She didn't
you
show
had
me her
come to
phone,
sit beside me at
something
that
like that.
point. We were sitting across the
After
room at
she
first,
smiled,
but then you came and sat beside
after
me
she
and
smiled at
said
me,
it.
then I came over there and I sat beside her, and then I said it to her again. The cool points are all out the window, and you got me twisted up in the game. That was memory number one. Memory number two is during my Kappa week, we just had a Bible study service that I led on the first day of the week. And then Michelyn came to the event, was praise and worship, had a great word, great vibes. Following that, we were in the parking lot, and she kind of looked at me and she had said, like, essentially that she think that she loved me or something like that. And then I said to her, will you be my girlfriend? And she said something to the fact like, I thought I already was, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh shoot, but like, no, I gotta ask. Like, you can't just be assuming you something like that. So anyway, so yeah, so that's number two.
That's number two.
Number three was actually our first date, and our first date was a parking lot party, like outside of Fridays. She keeps saying that it's not a date, but it was a date because this is how we got there. Because I wanted to take her out on a date, and
Exactly.
And we decided, like, hey, let's have a parking lot party. Just sat there in the car outside of Fridays, listened to music, and got to know like one another. And then afterwards, we went into Fridays and ate. But
and I say that wasn't a date because he wanted to take me on a date, but I didn't even know him like that. So I wanted to hang out with him to see if it was worth going out on a date. It was not a date. It was
those my three memories.
It was a preliminary.
Those my three memories. First time I told her I love her, when I asked her to be my girlfriend, and the first time we went on a date. So date, I love you. Will you be my girlfriend?
Really? Memories for me, and this is not in any particular order. One of them that comes to mind is when we took a trip up to Brooklyn, and we discovered this really cool brunch spot that we now go to every time we go to Brooklyn.
Terrace, yes.
And we also, that same trip,
around Coney Island, by the way.
That's what I was gonna say. We also went to Coney Island, which was my first time ever being there, and we got on like rides together and like had like the carnival experience and stuff like that. And that was also the first time that we had done any like amusement park related activity together. You're like right. So first time on a roller coaster together and like just being like crazy and free and having fun. Roller coaster at Coney Island. Like of all the firsts to get on a roller coaster, that one.
That was an experience.
And then we went to that like show with like the weird odd like remember the little show thing we went to in Coney Island?
Oh yeah. It
was like the Ripley's Believe It or Not kind of vibe show thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that was just a lot of fun, and it was really cute. The whole trip was incredibly cute. We were super locked in. Again, not in order, but a second memory for me that I love. This one just happened 2, 3, 4, how many months ago? We went to Cabo for my best friend's wedding.
Oh, yeah.
And
that was lit.
First of all, the experience of it being my best friend's wedding was just dope in and of itself. Cabo, dope in and of itself. The resort, beautiful. There was like nobody there. Like it was as if we had the whole resort to ourselves. I've never had that experience before. That by itself, top tier memory, the dopest. Mm-hmm. But what makes it even better for me is how, once again, locked in we were, and how cute we were. We were cute then too. We were very cute in Cabo. One of my favorite videos that's on my Instagram page, if you guys go to my Instagram page and you see the thumbnail of me in like a white jacket and Raj is wearing like a white set, and we're standing in front of the ocean. That's the cutest freaking video. I watch that thing like once or twice a week, every week. Number 3 or a third would be, let me think. What did you say?
Nothing.
I'm having a baby.
No.
What did you say?
Nothing.
What did you say?
Nothing. What's number 3? Oh, the proposal. proposal. The proposal.
Don't even have to say it.
Yeah, that took her by surprise.
Don't even have to say it.
She cried, y'all. I mean, y'all seen the video. If y'all haven't, go check it out. It's on her page too. No, it's not on her page.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's on her page too.
It's on my you know when you like go, you have the grid and then you swipe over and you have the reels.
Oh yeah.
It's there. Yeah. And it's pinned. It's the first video on my reels. So yeah, those are 3 memories for me.
Right. I thought you were gonna say Miami for one of them, and then again, I just realized like when I think about it, you have mixed feelings about each Miami trip.
Yeah, I do. Actually, I do. Now the second Miami trip, I have less mixed feelings
yeah,
about.
I was referring to that one.
But
sure.
but yeah.
But yeah.
For sure. No, that's not. I wouldn't.
That's what I had mouth.
I almost died in Miami, so I definitely would not put that in my
we fell off. We fell off one of them floaty things, bro. Like I don't understand why anybody would get on them. Like that was dumb. I should never even did it. I did it because she says that she has done this with her family like many times. I would never ever do anything like that.
He's talking about the water sofa, guys.
Yeah, I love being in the water. Don't get me wrong, but that was dumb. Like I'll stick with the jet skis, or I'm just gonna stick to swimming in the ocean. Like at a certain,
you guys,
like
what
not gonna get on.
The issue, the people that were facilitating that activity, I think they were doing it wrong. I think that the little cord that they had, they didn't have it set up correctly. Because I had done water sofas many times in my past, and it was never anything close to that experience.
That jam was crazy.
We got on the freaking water sofa to get ready to like pull off and live our best lives, and it freaking flipped over, flipping us into the ocean. Y'all, I don't do oceans, okay?
And
I'm not an ocean girl.
She was almost gonna die.
The thing flipped over on top of us. So like we're now in the ocean, and there's something on top of us, a sofa on top of us.
Life jackets on
under the water.
We were fine.
Under the sofa. What if I couldn't? Like I was trying to find my move the sofa so that I could get from underneath it. It's like and I can't see. I caught me by surprise. I got water in my nose. I can't I'm so stressed. And then it gets worse. We finally get from under the sofa and flip it over to get back on it. The second we get back on it, it flips over again, y'all.
Yeah, it's bad.
That was my last experience with a water sofa, and I will never do it again.
Yeah, I don't like it. Give me my jet skis.
And this is coming from someone who that's one of my favorite things to do on vacation. I have done it for years. Every time I go on a vacation, I'm on a water sofa and I'm living my best. I'm done. Nope.
See, she had one bad experience and then she shut it down.
And did.
We're working on her with stuff like that. Like,
no, we're
just
not.
Because you had one bad experience, I don't mean that
no, we're
you gotta be end all.
Let me be clear. I do not do oceans. If it's water, it's a pool. That's about the extent of it right there for me.
Guarantee I'm gonna have her in the ocean.
Guarantee you not.
Guarantee I will.
When we on our honeymoon in August and he wants to go into the ocean, I'll watch you from the boat, baby. Have so much fun.
Queen of the Jungle.
I'll be drinking.
Her first project.
I'll be drinking something on the boat while you go play with the octopi.
All right. Okay, well, that's a wrap for today's show.
You don't get to close out. Whose name is on the wall?
Thank you for joining us today. It's been great vibes.
You don't get to
I hope that you all took something from the conversation regarding, communication.
What's that? Are we under a water sofa right now?
Within relationships, or at least our communication style, communication with God. Yeah.
Does that say Raja?
It says Michelyn.cierra.
So we were saying, I was saying, he was saying, somebody was saying, dang.
See, this is why I was trying to do it. You see? See what I'm working with, guys?
This episode, TBD, you saw what it became. I hope it's enjoyable, and I hope that y'all are living your absolute best lives, staying connected to the source. And
we'll see y'all next time. Stay tuned for next time.
Bye.